We have seen a very sharp decline in all the cigarette related stock, but on the other hand, Godrej Industries went up, topped the chart and went up about 17% today. And there's a lot of other speculation in the pharma sector as well, which has taken quite a beating due to the US tariffs. And we're going to discuss all of this in today's video. Hey guys, so as you can see on the screen, Nifty today was extremely sideways, right? Opened with a slight gap down and then closed exactly where it was closed yesterday. So a very sideways market, and complementing to that, as you can see, India VIX as well is down 4.8%. What does it mean? Basically, if India VIX is down, that means there will be less volatility, market will be more stable, right? And this seems correct, because over the last couple of months, the 2025, the first 2 months have been extremely full of events. For example, we had our elections, we had our budgets, and multiple states elections as well were going on, and then there were a couple of wars happening in the world, and the Fed meetings, the inflation data, everything kept the market busy. And finally, I think the market has factored all of that in, and now we are able to see a very stable market, right? So today, if you look at the number of shares as well, as you can see, Nifty only 26, about I think only 27 stocks were in green, and then 23 stocks closed in red, indicating that market is almost sideways. There's no one-sided momentum in the market. So the major news of the day is obviously the Godrej Industries up about 16% today, and it seems very interesting because they actually posted their quarterly results on about 12th or 15th February, and market is now factoring all of that in, because if you look at the overall sentiment of the market, now it's very stable, allowing investors to go and put money into whatever stock that they feel are good fundamentally. And if you look at the technical structure on the Godrej Industries chart as well, which is very nice, with bullish patterns, with a very bullish candlestick pattern, bottoming out for the last a couple of months, actually even since September. If you look at the Indian FMCG chart, you'll notice that since September 2024 we have seen a very sharp decline. So next of the major news is in the cigarette sector. Godrej Phillips down about 9.7%, and we have GST Industries down about 3.5%, and Kotari Products down about 4%, and finally ITC, which is only down 1%, which is very interesting, which I'll talk about in just a minute. So mainly the reason behind such a very sharp fall in all the cigarette related stocks is due to the fear that more GST might come into play in the cigarette sector. So if government levies more tax on cigarettes, obviously people will cut down on how many cigarettes they'll smoke, and clearly that will impact the profitability of these companies, right? So that is a very bad news for cigarette sector. But what's interesting to me is the ITC stock. See, over the last 5 to 6 years, they have spent so much money and so much focus on diversifying their company, to a point where if a news comes out saying that cigarette stock, there will be more GST on cigarettes, the stock is absolutely unbothered. It's just only down about 1%, because they have actually diversified in such a good way where they are no longer just a cigarette company. They are into they even have an IT sector that's worth about 40,000 crores, right? So clearly it's very interesting how ITC has transformed over the years. And next of the major news is in the JBM Auto, which actually was very positive and had gone up, I think, about 10 to 20% in the last week itself, thanks to they signed some MOU with the Indian government to create e-buses, right, electric buses. But apparently, after a very huge surge in the prices for the last couple of weeks, today the stock has sort of settled down. But I think we have seen a little bit of selling in the stock, down about 5% today. And next off is a stock called NetWeb. Actually, see, NetWeb is an AI company, an Indian AI company, which actually came out with their newest AI product that actually apparently helps all these GPU rendering systems. And this is very interesting because stock has gone up about, I think, 20% in just a matter of 2 days. And this is interesting to me because when China came out with DeepSeek, and it took the entire world by a shock, and it was so positive for the Chinese stock market that they even gained about $1 trillion worth of market cap in just a week or so after DeepSeek was released, because it gave a bit of faith for the entire investors, thinking that China is actually working on some leading edge technology. But unlike India, we have not seen much of anything happening in the Indian AI sector. So clearly it's a very welcoming news that NetWeb Technologies has it's actually working out there on releasing some new AI stuff. And the final thing obviously that I want to talk about is the Indian pharma sector. As you can see on the screen, over the last couple of days, as soon as US announced 25 extra percent worth of taxes that will be levied on all these pharma related stocks and the auto sector stocks, they were all down by a huge percent. Even I think some crashed about 5 to 6 to even 10% in a day. But now today I think we are looking at a little bit of bottoming out, because more people are coming out with their reports and they're mentioning that the pharma sector, if they levy 25% tax on all the Indian pharma sector, what could happen is that it could negatively impact US as well, which is not a good news, of course. So they think that Trump might just be bluffing with the tax, levying 25% extra tax. So clearly we saw a little bit of hope coming into pharma sector stocks, and it was up by they actually recovered from their day's low, as you can see on the screen. But I'm very curious to know what will actually transpire in the whole sector. Actually, I think he has given a deadline of about 1 month for these companies to prepare. So at the end of the month, if he actually levies 25% tax, so clearly we will be able to notice further downfall in all the stocks.
If you're a trader following market calls and tips for day trading, use our tool RNT, Research and Trade. All you have to do is link RNT to your trading account, then just sit and relax. Turn trading into business at app.gwcindia.live. Check out description for more details.
Disclaimer: investments in the securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.